You are about to participate in a great adventure. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the inner mind.
With the emergence of global internet, a human population of several billions, an electronic noosphere, that we are now within the shadow of this transcendental object at the end of time.
I find it a little difficult to say what the subject matter is going to be, because
Magic is an enemy and truth is a menace.
Shake and bake, steps back, three-pointer, bang!
Welcome to another edition of the Midnight Variety Hour with Tom and
Adam.
And we are here today with a man who, to use his own words, plugs things in for a living, an all-around man of mystery, Mr. Keegan Lucas.
Oh,
Keegan,
that's
how are you doing
solid,
today?
Tom. I like that.
Yes.
I like that. I have,
Yes. Professional thing, plugger-inner.
yeah.
How are you doing today, sir?
I'm all right. I'm all right. So what are we talking about here today? I know you guys cover so many different
Right.
topics on this
Yes.
podcast every week.
We've talked about all kinds of things, from human-animal hybrids to clean energy to basketball
Pink
to
armadillos.
pink armadillos. Yeah.
That's terrifying.
So you've
Wait,
listened
is
to
that a euphemism I'm unfamiliar with?
No, it's a real thing. The pink
Pink
fairy,
fairy armadillo.
That's what a euphemism is.
that should
It
be,
is a real thing.
that should be the new logo of the show. It's just a pink fairy armadillo.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That'd be an awesome mascot.
I know, no one would have it. No one
Yeah.
could replicate that. All right, well, anyway, so you've listened to a few episodes, so you know what we do here. We started the show basically just to talk to interesting people about what they do and what we find interesting in the news that week and just what's going on, or just tell stories or whatever. We just want to have good conversations for an hour to an hour and a half, or sometimes it's 4 hours. Today, probably be
Yeah.
a shorter one because we've got a lot of things to do today. But
Yeah.
yeah, we can talk about anything you want. Why don't we start with, what do you do here? You work at the same company as us. What do you do for a living here? What do you do? How would you just give us like your elevator pitch of who Keegan Lucas
See,
is?
that's the problem. Is there is a elevator pitch? Okay,
Right.
I got nothing. It's too long of an explanation.
Let's just act like you're going from the first
All right,
floor to the
describe
100th
Keegan
floor.
in one sentence.
Yeah, one sentence.
Mad?
You
No,
are,
that's
you
one
are
word,
angry.
sorry.
You really are like one of the angriest people.
Oh
I
yeah,
know.
no doubt. Like we were in Hawaii about 7 years ago for a buddy of mine's wedding, and my wife, at that point, we were on the road to Hana, there on Maui, and she turned to me. She was filming in the car on this ride, and labeled me then and there, and it stuck, the angriest man in paradise, because it was gorgeous. It was
A
gorgeous.
place where it should be impossible to
I
be
was
angry.
just so pissed.
Yeah.
Such a garbage drive.
Really?
Oh yeah. If go to Maui, it's gorgeous,
Mm-hmm.
but don't take the road to. If you want to go to Hana, get the helicopter ride.
Is the road just all torn up or something, or
The,
what's
the road is fine. It's just you can't go over about 20 miles an hour.
Mm.
It's curvy because it's built into the side of the mountains and the cliffs.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally up, down, winding left and right. And it just, I was hungover. It was just terrible.
Gotcha.
It was the day after the wedding. She somehow suckered me into doing that. And, I wasn't paying attention because normally I'm not, and it was bad. I threw up on a ferret because they have wild
ferret?
Well, they're not actual ferrets; they're like marmots or
Inhumane.
something. But yeah, we pulled over on the side of the road, and I went to throw up in the bushes, and I threw up on a ferret. Yeah,
Good
Yeah.
thing he wasn't endangered or something,
No.
man. Good thing they had a lot of them.
He probably got drunk cleaning himself later.
So you're a professional angry man. Yeah, god damn.
No, I do everything from hardware and software tech resolution to voice work, audio and video editing, much like what you do. I'm on call 24/7. I mean, I come up here at 3 o'clock in the morning pretty regularly.
Putting fires out, yeah.
Yeah, it just whatever needs to. I'm the guy who solves problems.
There you go.
There it is. There's your answer. I'm the guy who solves problems.
I love
Yeah,
it.
badass thing to say in an elevator. Hey, tell me about yourself. I solve problems.
Yeah, you get weird looks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
So-
should be your business card. You should just say Keegan Lucas, I solve problems.
Yeah.
Email, phone.
right.
Well, so there's a lot of things that are going on right now in the world. We're coming out of a pandemic. We're going into the summer. We live in a state with a fucked energy grid. We've got
we
some...
can cuss on this?
Oh, definitely.
Keegan,
Fucking awesome.
you already cussed. I
Yeah.
think you
Did
probably
I?
already cussed
But
twice,
he doesn't.
probably.
See,
Like,
that's
he
what I'm
didn't
saying.
realize it.
It's just like built into his subconscious. He doesn't even realize that he's
Angriest
doing it anymore.
man in paradise, all right?
Wow, can you imagine if Aaron ever let Keegan babysit? Autumn's first words would just be like, "fucking clown shoes" or some shit like that.
You guys remember Furbies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Taught a Furby how to say fuck.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't even know you could do that.
There takes a little bit of dedication, but you know, when you have time in high school, you get it done.
Wow. Fucking Furbies.
Yeah, nice.
Well, you know what? One thing I wanted to ask Keegan about, because this just popped in my head right now. One thing that I know you're really into is you do a lot of scuba diving.
Yes.
Tell me about when did you start scuba diving, and what got you into that?
So I've always been interested in it. And you guys know I'm type 1 diabetic, and
Yeah.
you start getting told as you get older there are lots of things you can't do.
Right.
Scuba diving was kind of one of them. They were like, if you don't control your blood sugars, you're not ever going to be able to do this. I am one of the few certified scuba divers in the world. There's not a whole lot of us that are type 1 diabetic. That's an important part to mention. But I originally got certified. It was part of a college class that I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a fun class. I was a junior in college. I saw the light at the end of the tunnel and decided to take the class. It was a great class.
That's when you can start taking kind of whatever you want. You're like,
kind of,
got your
sorta.
basics out of the way.
Yeah,
You have
yeah.
time to maybe take a 3-hour class here and do whatever you want. Yeah.
Right. And it was a lot of fun. It's actually functional knowledge.
Definitely.
Divers Depot in Nacogdoches was the place that was commissioned through Stephen F. Austin State University to teach the class. And that story actually gets deeper down another road, but I've been Cozumel a lot, Hawaii a lot. There's a little island called Curacao,
Heard
about
of Curacao.
10 miles off the coast of Venezuela.
Wow.
Absolutely gorgeous. Roatan, just all over the Caribbean. I'm actually in the process of furthering my dive career by getting certified as a dive master,
Oh, shit.
again through Divers Depot. And
Master
it's
Keegan.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And my dad always prided his boys on loving the water. And he's got a tremendous story about learning to swim in the Frio River and, you know, when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And
Whoa, can you tell that story?
not as well as he can, but he loved it. I mean, he's talked about it. I don't tell stories like that because I don't do them justice the way I tell them. Like, my grandfather had a story about being blown off a battleship in the Pacific Theater in World War II. And I've tried to tell the story.
Right.
I've tried. I suck at it.
Right.
I am like, and he's in my head. I've got those memories of him sitting around the Thanksgiving Day table, and you know, with he had 6 kids, 19 grandchildren, all of us just sitting there, just dead quiet, listening to Grandpa tell the story.
Right.
And it's phenomenal. So
Right.
I think you and I have talked a little bit about this in the
Yeah.
past, but I don't ever do them justice. So I don't, unless they're my stories, I don't like to tell other people's stories
Right.
because I think a lot gets lost in transition.
Yeah, definitely.
Or translation. So, but to go back on the scuba diving thing, it's been a fabulous journey.
What's the best place, your favorite place you've ever scuba dived?
It's a toss-up between Curacao,
Okay.
because it's not highly dived. Like, not a
Yeah.
lot of people go there just because it's a little harder to get to. There's not a whole lot. Like, there was one flight we had to fly from Vegas to Miami and catch a single flight down to Curacao out of Florida a day that they had. There's not a lot of options. Not like Cozumel. Everybody goes to Cozumel.
Right,
They
yeah.
got-
I've been there, yeah.
yeah. So the sea fans, the coral fans on the reefs they were as big as you are. And they were gorgeous, just gorgeous. And then I think Hawaii,
Oh, it's got to be
was
amazing.
you get this kind of close to sea turtles. just giant, just as
Yeah.
big as this table.
Probably like
sea
100
turtles.
years old. Yeah.
Yeah. And they,
Wow.
they don't care. They just come up there like, hey,
Yeah.
move, hit
Right.
you with a flipper and fly off, you know? But it's,
Wow.
great. I don't regret it one bit. And of all the things that I was supposed to learn in college,
I know,
that
right?
one actually stuck.
That's the one that stuck with me. You know, I went to Sam Houston State, which was your school's rival, but we also had, an accredited scuba diving program through the school. It was at the Blue Lagoon, which you've been to. That was my biggest regret coming out of college, is that I never took that scuba diving class. Could have done it. Could be a licensed scuba diver, and I just never did it. But I have been to the Blue Lagoon just to swim. And it's a pretty great place. Like, the water seems really nice. I've heard sometimes, like, it can, be a little murky down there depending on if that sand has been kicked up at the bottom or...
Yeah, all of that.
Because it's a limestone quarry, I think, right? And,
It is. And there's nothing alive in it. I know some people have these fears of, and I'm kind of one of them. I don't like swimming in water I can't see in. Because I've walked up on alligators and water moccasins
Especially in
and
Texas.
snapping turtles. Yeah. And so I don't enjoy that kind of stuff. But there is nothing alive in that water. There are days where you can go and it's 20-foot visibility, 20 feet down.
Right.
It's magical.
Yeah.
Great place to learn and very calming atmosphere for something that for a lot of people can be very intimidating. So
would you say it's an expensive hobby to get into? Could your average person just on a regular budget learn to scuba dive?
I think so.
Because it just seems like there's all this gear and you got to, like, the fucking oxygen and all the...
Well, so there is what a lot of people don't understand is there's some gear you buy and then there's some gear that you just rent.
Yeah.
Just rent it. Like your mask and your snorkel, just buy those. Your fins,
Sure.
just buy those.
Right.
But things like your buoyancy control device, your big vest that holds the tank, just rent that. Rent your tank, rent your regulator. Don't worry about that. I mean, spend your money on memories.
Right.
And because there is upkeep that goes into all of that. I just, on my regulator that I've had for years, one of the pressure gauges blew out on it. So now I've got to replace it and front that cost. And it's not a whole lot, but when you first get into it, it can seem like a lot because your buoyancy control devices, you can get some that are a couple $100. You can get some that are a couple $1,000. So it's just, it's how much do you want to spend?
Okay.
How much are you comfortable investing into this?
Sure.
Because, and like scuba tanks, some people, I got a buddy of mine who bought one and they go out of certification. You have to have them retested. Not everywhere can test them, can hydro test them. So you have to find that specific place.
Right.
And so there's upkeep and maintenance that goes on with some of the gear. And really, honestly, for your everyday guy who might go, let's say max 2 or 3 times throughout the year, it might have 3 dives on a day, but for a vacation, you know what I'm talking about.
Sure.
It doesn't make sense to just buy those.
Yeah.
Just rent them.
Yeah.
So.
And who in your family owns or teaches scuba lessons? Is it somebody?
So that was the I mentioned a second ago about kind of a split.
Yeah.
I married the Texas dive princess.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
So your father-in-law is like big in the dive game.
My father-in-law has owned and operated Divers Depot since 77 or 78. He's taught. We were in Hawaii. We happened to stop by a scuba place, and this was 8 years ago. Walked up, and sure enough, there was a magazine article, and it was open, and the guy behind the register had been reading it, and I pointed, and they go, "Oh yeah, that's E.K. Sal. He taught me." And long story short, we knew the guy.
Yeah.
And we were just random, completely random.
Small world.
And he Divers Depot has taught the neutral buoyancy lab folks that teach the astronauts how to, repair the
They're
underwater.
training for the ISS, training for spacewalks, training for being in low gravity or zero gravity.
Yeah. That's the closest thing we can do here on this planet is in the pool. And so they've taught a lot of those folks who made careers out of that, along with just all sorts of. My wife actually was one of those divers for a little bit of time.
Yeah, what was that like, man? Your wife just working in the neutral buoyancy? I mean, because the neutral buoyancy lab is crazy. I think it's one of, if not the largest indoor pool in the United. I mean, it's like one of the largest indoor bodies of water
sure.
in the country, maybe even in the world. I mean, that's got to be amazing. I mean, the work stories. Hey, hon, how was your day? Well, and then like we practice installing a solar array underwater. You know,
that's exactly what they would do. And they, there's a battery pack that's faulty on the ISS, and they've got to figure out how to get it swapped out on the one down here. But they don't have this tool, and they don't have this tool up there, or this part's broken. How do they? I mean, they're literally solving problems down here up there.
I mean, there's like a pretty good sized replica in the water.
Oh no, it's exactly it's
to scale and everything.
Scale.
Oh my god! I mean, that thing is like 2 football fields long. So I mean, it's got to be massive. Yeah.
Well, okay. So let me throw a caveat there. They have it sectioned off so that it's the pool's not 2 football fields.
There's no way.
Long.
Yeah. Okay.
But it's
this module is here. This module
like right next to each other. But in reality, on the spaceship,
it would be linear.
You know, 80 feet
They'd
that
be
way.
all right. Sure.
Yeah.
Wow.
But yeah, it's we had drinks with astronauts before, and all these people who work at NASA, and it's been fun.
Tell one of them about the show. Get them on our show. I want to talk to some astronauts.
The neutral buoyancy the guys who work there, are just they're tremendous.
Yeah,
tremendous. A lot of fun too.
Wow.
So,
what a job. Never a dull day. I bet. Now, did you marry your wife for discounts at Divers Depot?
Not at all.
Okay.
No. I'm not going to divulge on air on a recording why I did, but I'll tell you off air.
Oh man, dude, that's a crazy story. I mean, for them to like know your father-in-law, thousands of miles away, it's nuts.
Just out of nowhere, and that they've got people that they've trained that are training people to dive in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they literally have. Their store trains not only, if you guys wanted to go learn to scuba dive, they could train you to do that. But they also train people all the way up through training how to train people to scuba dive. So they do it all.
Yeah.
They literally do it all.
And as a career choice, I bet that gives you a good opportunity to, well, I'm a registered scuba instructor. I want to live off the coast of Nepal, and you could go be a scuba instructor in Nepal. You could go be a scuba instructor anywhere, So,
yeah, I recently got sent some, because we do a lot of video work here now, and somebody sent me a thing for Nat Geo. They're hiring scuba divers to go get underwater photography and video.
And I'm like, you have video and photo. Dude, that would be a wild job.
Yeah.
I can't formally encourage you to take that job on this radio program, but wow. That's
badass.
How
much? I mean, like a dream job.
Oh,
what do you do? Yeah, I film stuff underwater.
That's got to be amazing.
What do you mean? Well, Discovery Channel. I do that. Yeah. Nat Geo, that.
Right.
Dude, yeah, I kind of have a dream job of like doing something where I'm constantly in nature, like for a good portion of time, like because I honestly don't care about weather. Like I don't care if it's too hot. I don't get too mad. I don't get too mad if it's too cold. Like I'm fine. Like I can do whatever kind of weather anywhere. Yeah. So I just want to be outside as much as I can. Like even when I leave work, I'll just go hit the Arboretum for an hour or so.
Right.
So I go home or whatever it is, and I'm just like, man, I just would love to have a job where I'm just constantly outside.
Yeah.
Just being outdoors constantly would be amazing. And just doing a job like that would be awesome.
Construction here in Houston never stops.
No, see,
there you go. That's outside.
No, yeah, no, not when I say outside, I'm not standing on the side of the highway. I mean like in nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about like looking at jobs at the National Park Service or?
Yeah, I have, but they don't look too fun. I mean,
No?
not fun, but like good pay and you know what I mean?
Oh
Stuff
no,
like that.
that's
that's like not a job you take for money.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
a
That's what I'm
job
saying.
you take
the
for.
cooler the job, the worse the pay.
Right.
That's
No, that's not always true.
I've had some very cool
NBA.
jobs in my life, and it's just kind of been a theme. The cooler the job, the worse the pay.
Yeah.
How much did you get paid doing John Cena stunt double?
Oh yeah, you were John Cena's stunt. Whoa, I forgot all about that.
Oh yeah, that was a ridiculous thing for WrestleMania 25.
Yeah, I
in
remember
Houston.
that he there was like the ring was just lined with.
Yeah,
John
I was
Cena
one of those
lookalikes.
guys on the ramp with my hat down.
Right, jean shorts probably.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I still have those.
Oh shit, with your family and respect shirt on or whatever his thing is, and then he like eventually
you can't
came
see
running
me.
out. Oh
That's
yeah,
what it was.
Wow. We'll insert the John Cena theme song at
But
the start
yeah,
of the
that's
podcast.
now I like that was there were I'll give you the abridged version, but there were basically about 100, workout guys confined to a tent outside of Reliant.
Oh God.
And this was before we had quality video games on our phones.
Right.
Like you had Snake or Tetris or you couldn't surf Facebook or
Right.
Instagram on your phone, and we're just all in there for all day. Like they had us call in or arrive on site at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we didn't do our 30-second little. We had a practice run at 11:30, and then we didn't do anything again until about 4:30 in the afternoon. And then after that, we were just tired of it.
Yeah.
We'd literally been there all day. They gave us a ham sandwich, no cheese,
No
just a
cheese, ham
sandwich.
and bread. What the fuck?
Ham and bread. That's like jail food, man.
Yeah, it was. We were in
WWE's a $1 billion organization, and they gave you guys ham and bread.
I mean,
Yeah.
it was a cool thing, and we can talk. I'm pretty sure the statute of limitations on that have expired, but
Sure. Vince McMahon's gonna come for you.
I'm gonna get a nasty letter or something. But it was interesting to see, because walking around backstage, you saw the Big Show or that
my
the
God.
Great Khali walking around, and these guys are massive, just massive.
Dude, Big Show is a freakishly large
Yeah.
human being.
Yeah.
What's that dude? Khali? You said what's
Great
his name?
Khali.
The Great
Yeah.
Khali.
He used to work out at the Lifetime Fitness,
Lifetime
in
Fitness, yeah.
Atascocita where I went to.
Oh,
And,
no kidding.
He
Yeah.
lives around here, right? He's
I
from
don't know
the
where he
greater
lives.
Houston area.
But yeah, he would go to that gym. You'd just be walking around. He's just casually just lifting 400 pounds or something.
Yeah.
You're just like, what in the hell?
You
But
would
his
think a guy
legs-
like him would work out at some high-profile
yeah,
private
no,
gym.
he was just hanging around everyone.
You would think that, but you know why they can't? Because they travel so much.
But
It
was
makes
this
sense
after
for
he
them.
retired, or because he's not in the WWE anymore?
This was, I want to say, 10 years ago.
Yeah, he
So
would
when I was
have
like-
still,
Okay, he
he
was
would have
in.
still been doing it.
But his legs were disproportionate from his upper body. It was
Yeah.
weird. It was like, oh shit.
His
It was
legs
like-
are long, but he had a short upper body.
His legs were like sticks, and his upper body was like.
He had chicken legs.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looked awkward.
I guess
but
that's why
it looked
he
like
always wore.
It was hard for him to walk.
He wore long pants in the ring.
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, he always wore long pants, but it looked like it was really hard for him to walk because of just how
he's
disproportionate
he's
his
top
body.
heavy.
Yeah,
Why wouldn't he train his legs though?
don't ask me, dude. I don't know. Shit.
Some guys just skip leg day, man. It happens. It happens.
But he's 6'10" or something. He's
yeah.
massive.
Yeah, I think he might be over 7 feet. Yeah, he's.
But yeah, I mean,
huge.
any guy that tall, you're gonna have knee problems, leg issues, and it just
Yeah.
happens.
I'm trying to think. I don't think I've never met a wrestler, but I was pretty into WWE as a kid.
Yeah,
I grew out of it relatively quick, but for a while there,
yeah.
He's 7'1",
7'1", yeah.
347 pounds,
Massive
according
human
to. I mean, if you believe Wikipedia here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he's probably 7 foot for sure.
Yeah.
At least. Jeez.
Massive human being. Jesus.
Oh yeah, and you're not kidding about the knees, man.
Oh yeah.
It just the bigger the guy, the quicker and more severe those knees
Sure.
are going to go out.
Yeah.
It's just a thing.
Yeah, and a lot of people, I get it, WWE and that kind of wrestling is fake, but those dudes' bodies take a
athleticism
fucking
is
toll.
real. Yeah.
Oh my god, dude, the things that they put their bodies through, it's, I mean, when they're falling on tables and off of yeah, all right, it's scripted.
Shaq had to get
They're
surgery
still
recently because Shaq was got tossed on a table, body slammed on a table, and he had to get surgery on his wrist because he
in the
damaged his
WWE,
wrist.
he came
One of the
on-
wrestling things, whatever the new one is, I don't know, whatever their names are.
But Shaq went on SmackDown or
Yeah,
something.
just recently. Yeah, recently.
Whoa,
In the past year. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, because he was doing the Inside NBA or whatever that the show is before on TNT, and he was just talking about he had just got wrist surgery on his wrist. It's pretty crazy.
You ever seen the movie The Wrestler?
No.
I highly recommend it.
Good movie.
It should have won the Oscar the year it came out, but Mickey Rourke basically plays
nails
this. He plays this really kind of tortured wrestler from, not like WWE, almost in between amateur wrestling and the big leagues,
Yeah.
And it's just his body is just fucking wrecked,
I can
and he
imagine.
doesn't know how to do anything other than wrestling. It's he leaves the sport. He's a butcher for a while, just working in a grocery, and then
It's a rough life, man.
you got to watch it. It's
Yeah.
one of Mickey Rourke's best performances, and it should have won the Oscar for best movie of that
I've seen
year.
Peanut Butter Falcon.
Peanut Butter Falcon is have you seen Peanut Butter Falcon?
I have not. I have not.
Highly encourage you to watch it this
funny name.
weekend if you have time. It's a great movie.
But anyway, there was old wrestlers in there.
Jake the Snake was in there. Mick
Yeah.
Foley was in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mick Foley was just on the news for something here recently, like in the last couple
Really?
of months. I'll Google search it. I don't remember.
Jake the Snake is the best part of that fucking movie.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Jake the Snake is the best part of that fucking movie.
Jake
But no,
the
I'll check that
Snake.
movie
I
out.
remember that used to terrify me watching wrestling as a kid when
Just
he
let
would
him
pull
sell-
that snake out.
Yeah.
And then when I got older, I was like, oh, that's silly. That's just
He would like make it bite people and I mean like he had snakes that were non-venomous, but he would
Yeah.
like make the snake bite people and
Yeah.
what a crazy gimmick. Like everyone has a gimmick, but for this man to just be like this hillbilly who just has snakes, you know?
What about the snakes, man? They've been so tortured life.
I know PETA would never let that shit
No, not
happen
at
in
all.
2021. Oh man. Yeah, PETA is kind of a crazy organization.
Why?
Well,
Because they're like too
I mean,
crazy.
I don't know if this is true for like all of PETA or if this is just a few like PETA people that I've seen on the internet, but they legitimately like liken the killing of a chicken to like you've killed a person. You know, like they'll stand outside of restaurants and they're like, "Meat is murder. Murder is happening
Oh,
inside
okay. You're
this
talking
restaurant."
about the crazy protesters
no,
who are
but
just
I mean, I
standing
think
out on
the
the side of the
official
road.
stance
like,
on PETA or like PETA's official thing is like they believe animal killing is as equal
Okay.
to like killing a human,
yeah, I can see that.
which is nuts.
I know. We've had a lot of talks
But
about
you're
that.
vegan or you're vegetarian and you're very anti-meat and you're very I don't want to say anti-meat, but you're anti like processed meats and
Yeah.
the way meat
But yeah,
is.
no, I mean, I can see that. Like, you'd ask me questions for fun, like, all right, if there's a giant, or if there's like, who would you rather kill, a dog or your
Right.
brother,
Yeah.
or like a giant pile of
and
cats?
sometimes
or
like you'll
your
play
mom?
devil's advocate
I'm
and you'll
just
be like, a life is a life. I know you don't
Yeah.
genuinely feel that way.
wait. A giant pile of cats?
I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
You've already
He
got
would
a problem if
Tom-
you have a pile of cats.
Tom makes shit up.
But
all
if
the
I
time.
was like, okay, if I said to you, you know, kill Aaron or a box of puppies,
yeah,
what would you do?
I don't know, man.
See, I don't believe that you actually
I
have
know.
to
I'd ask
question
what
that.
kind of
No.
dogs, what kind of puppies.
Chihuahuas.
Oh no, they're
Do
going
it.
down. I got bad news, man. I got bad news.
For I think in ancient, I'm pretty sure this was during what was it? It was the time when all the Catholics were killing the whole.
You're gonna have to narrow it down.
Where,
The
sorry.
first time, the second time? No.
No. What was it called? Not the Crusades. I'm drawing a blank on the name. When they were sacrificing a whole bunch of people by burning them at the stake and whole. You know what was it called?
I think
that
you're
time
referring to
period?
the Crusades.
No, not the Crusades. It was a name for it. Anyways, I'll remember. But during around that time, I think this was 1500s, 1400s, they would literally burn cats alive. They would get like a giant bag of cats and set them over a fire and just burn them alive.
What the fuck?
For like certain festivals and different things like that. And it was like a
Oh, it's
sacrificial.
kind of the worst festival
and
ever.
can you imagine like all the cats would just be like screaming, like burning it? It was probably
Yeah,
a scary ass thing to witness. But anyways, one of the weird things they used to do back in the day. Kill
Hold on.
animals.
Why
For
do you
fun.
know that?
It's a good question.
Okay, I just.
Oh, it was on a.
How did you Google? How did
It was
you
on a
stum-
history podcast I was listening to about that time. I want to say it was France or Italy that they did that there, and yeah, they'd just kill them for a
burning a
sacrifice.
bag of cats?
Yeah, it's pretty cool, right?
I bet that smells terrible.
Yeah, and the noise. Can you imagine the sounds
Oh yeah,
coming from
no,
that?
no, I don't need that in my life. No. Oh,
Yeah, crazy shit.
flaming bag of pussy. That's
Oh,
just
it'd
wrong.
be a great name for a band.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just have to reply to this.
Yeah. So, anyways, I mean, I can understand the people in PETA who don't want to, you know what I mean, like because, like I kind of understand that because there's also like spiritual practices in other places like that teach nonviolence, obviously in Buddhism and non-killing and things like that, and they treat every life like that. Like there's a story of a monk where like some visitors were coming into the monastery, and then the monk runs out and like stops them in the yard and like, hey, wait, there's like a line of ants walking across, and he like stops them like,
Yeah.
hey, just watch out for the ants, step over them, come in this way, whatever, stuff like that, where it's like, but I think there's something like honorable and special in that because it may seem ridiculous and like looks crazy. Oh, who gives a fuck about the ants? Like whatever, like you just live your life or whatever. You shouldn't concern yourself too much about it. Whoever says that, like, and that's understandable. But then if you look deeper into it, it's like, okay, there might be really something to there, and like really being able to appreciate each life for what it is. And if you have to kill it, you have to kill it.
Except
If things have
termites.
to die, yeah. I know you hate ducks and dolphins and things that rape things. I get that.
No.
Here's the-
Oh, hold on. Time out. Let me clarify some things. I don't hate dolphins. I just think that they are over-trusted. I think there is a foundation of unearned trust when it comes to our relationship with dolphins. I mean,
Yeah, people are like, oh, it's, and it's like
we've
people-
all seen the video across the videos, I should say, across social media of that dolphin trying to hump that lady
There's loads
in the
of videos.
pool.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Why do dolphins hump so many people?
Titties.
No, seriously, like dolphins rape a lot of people.
I know. There was this one case where they found a human body like in a dolphin
In a
cave,
dolphin rape
Yeah.
cave.
and it had like the sperm of the dolphin on him or whatever or something.
Yeah.
God, how do you get to that job as that forensic scientist?
Yeah,
of,
that would be the day I quit. I think I would just be like, you know what, man, I can't.
I'm
Can't
done
do
with this game.
How do you explain that to the family? All right, we found your daughter.
Oh,
We
She,
found this
uh,
weird fluid. I don't know what we're
Right.
trying. Yeah, and then it's dolphin jizz.
Yeah, and people are like, they'll see a fin in the water and they'll freak out and they're like, oh, don't freak out. Maybe it's just a dolphin. That doesn't calm me down, man. Like dolphins are,
yeah.
they're really crazy animals. And
And
they're
then-
so smart.
And then ducks rape a lot of things too, right?
That is true.
I don't know if
Ducks
ducks
are
rape
terrible
things. They
people.
just have.
No,
they
they
rape each
no,
other.
like
Well, they rape other ducks, but they
Yeah,
don't rape
yeah.
humans.
well, that's true.
No,
yeah.
obviously
I think
not.
that's very important to note.
I will
Yeah.
tell you this. If you ever get a chance to watch a toddler try and feed a duck and then the duck turn on the toddler and chase it, that's most delight. It'll make your week.
Yeah, they're
It'll make your month,
relentless, man.
really. Oh yeah, they're mean. And God forbid the kid tries to approach a goose. Oh, it's
yeah.
over. It's
Geese
over.
are crazy, especially in New York. Like they have those. I think they're technically called Canadian geese, but they're
Yeah.
really, they're pretty prevalent.
Are
in
they
New
the
York
ones like
City.
gray and black and white?
Yeah,
Kinda-
the same
Yeah, those
ones
are
that
Canadians.
took down the plane that Sully flew, the
Yep.
Hudson Miracle, the Miracle on the Hudson, where
Yeah.
that was one of the birds that flew into the engine. You could like walk up to them, especially like in the Bronx. You just walk up to them, you could like, cock your fist back like you're about to hit them, and they'll just look at you dead in your eye, like, do it.
They have no souls.
Fucking do it. Because it's their house. They were there first, and they just
Yeah.
have no fucking fear,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't care.
And they
Well, they have
migrate
that
through
herd
there.
mentality.
And they really are. They have a cold-blooded fucking mentality, man. They are some
Have to,
crazy
man.
animals.
Yeah, have to.
No match for 737 though.
Or 12 gauge.
Yeah. You're a pretty avid hunter. I know you hunt a lot of
I do a lot.
smaller game like birds. Do you ever go out deer hunting? Not that often, right?
So going back on your conversation here about
Mm-hmm.
PETA and animals, I recently, and this is a weird thing because I do eat steak and I'm
Sure, me too.
I have an assortment of things that I eat. I actually realized probably about maybe a month and a half ago, 2 months ago, that if I ever had a cow like of my own,
Sure.
I'd probably never eat red meat again.
Well, you just think
Like,
you
I-
bond with it, and
Yeah, I have those kind of
I thought you were going to
emotional
say I'd eat
attachment.
my own cow. I thought
no,
that's where that
I
was
don't
going.
think I don't think I could. I honestly
Dude,
don't think I could.
Every human has that. Every human has that.
You don't think
Especially
you'd
when
eat
you
a
see-
burger again?
I don't.
Wow.
I don't. I think if at any point I had like my own pet longhorn or something,
Yeah.
which is feasible,
Yeah.
I don't think I would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you develop a bond and a relationship with
the
it.
same.
Exactly.
It's probably the same logic as to like why we don't eat horse
Or a dog.
or dog. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
some people.
there are
do, but
people
I'm
around the
sa-
world
yeah.
who eat dog.
and horse.
So yeah, it's like, why do we look at a dog differently than we do a cow? Because, I mean, cows are almost just as intelligent. They play. They know how to play like with a ball. They can play like fetch and stuff.
They get mad when you shoot them with a pellet gun.
Yeah, I mean and there's a ton of videos you can watch like cows playing around and running and like
Yeah.
doing very similar things that dogs do.
And
And
the
it's like
the
they're
most
just
recent thing about
yeah.
the brushes that are having to I know the UK has made it mandatory for cattle farmers and ranchers to have these large brushes for the cows to go up and be able to brush. Like they love it. They go and rub their heads and and they're stiff brushes. Like it's itchy time for
Right,
the
right,
cows,
right.
and they have to
Yeah.
have so many per head.
that's awesome. Good
Yeah.
for them.
But
Good for them.
it was a weird realization.
Yeah.
It just happened to be. I think I was scrolling through Instagram and I was like, oh, yeah, I don't think I could ever do that.
Yeah.
Like,
And then you learn that they all have their own personality. Like each cow is very
Yeah.
different from every other cow. Same with horses. Like Yeah, it's the same thing, dude. If you ever go to any horse pen and you realize that each horse is very different, they are named based on like how they act, and some are super social, some don't, some like to play, some they all different. Some are hard headed. Like same with the cows, they all have their own personality, and you know what I mean. So like we look at them like they're just like a food or a commodity or something, but like they're living beings. So.
All that being said, I will never not eat chicken.
Yeah,
I have no problem.
Even if you had like a pet
birds.
chicken that you...
I've had pet chickens. Like
Really?
as a kid, my dad, we had at one point, I don't know, 30 chickens and ducks. I don't have a problem with that.
Why?
Fuck 'em.
What? Why is it different?
Have you
just
had
think
chicken
they're-
wings? They're delicious.
Oh, I know. They're like probably my favorite food.
This is going to blow your mind. Do you have an air fryer?
I do.
Go buy regular sized chicken legs. Cook, batter them up like you would a wing, and put them in the deep fryer or the air fryer.
I've done them. I've done chicken legs in there with no batter and just air fried, just like the. And those are
You can
great.
do the same thing, yeah.
Okay.
But it's like you get a lot more meat that way.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. I wish I could invite you over for that, but I can't.
You still can.
But you
I can just hang out and watch you. I can watch you eat them.
watch my immense joy.
Or I could air fry some cauliflower wings.
Oh,
There
there
you
you go. My wife loves that.
They're
She
delicious.
loves that.
Yeah, cauliflower is amazing.
I made those for a music
It's
meeting one time.
amazing
Remember
people
I
are
did the
eating
buffalo
those.
cauliflower?
Yeah. And have you ever had cauliflower puree?
No, but I know people use cauliflower and make like a mashed potato substitute or like
Yes.
a fucking.
Yeah,
they make
you
cauliflower rice now.
Yeah. But there's like, because I worked at this Korean restaurant, and they were serving like wild duck with cauliflower puree, and it was delicious when I was still eating meat. And it was delicious. But even just the cauliflower puree by itself, because it was like super fluffy, almost like a very like
Fluffy?
fluffy. Sorry, it was
It's
like
a
a very
technical
like soft, almost like mashed potatoes, but a little like softer. And it was just like super sweet. Like it didn't taste like cauliflower. It just tasted like sweet.
Right. Sure.
I don't know. It was just delicious. But anyways,
I
just random
like
thing about
cauliflower a lot.
cauliflower. It was really good.
When they do hot ones on like
Yeah.
First We Feast, the people that come on the show that don't eat meat, they give them the cauliflower
Yeah.
wings in the same wing sauce that they do the wings, and
Right.
they seem to love it. So
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
So my
It's just
wife,
food.
my wife several years ago played a joke on me and my brother. This is probably about 10 years ago at this point. She was cooking dinner one day, and she told us that she was going to be cooking parsnips. Do you know what a parsnip is?
Yes.
It's basically a white carrot.
yep.
Yeah.
And we were drinking and messing around, and me and my brother drinking whiskey, interesting things are gonna happen. But anyway, we go to sit down for dinner, and it's a steak, and in our inebriated minds, mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
So we're doing what we've done since kids, and we're loading our plate full of these not mashed potatoes.
Right.
She is so proud of this. She said that we at the same time both got a giant spoonful, stuck it in our mouth, and both looked at each other like, what the fuck is this? And then both spit it out.
Oh, damn.
You weren't drunk enough,
No,
evidently.
not at all. Not at all. But yeah, she is so proud of that.
Wow.
She got them with parsnips.
Fucking parsnip.
Yeah.
I've seen parsnips. Don't know if I've ever had them. I don't really know what they taste like.
Bleh.
Really? Do they taste like carrots?
No, they don't. I will only eat raw carrots. I will not steamed carrots. I
okay.
can't stand.
Yes, thank you. I hate steamed vegetables altogether. Like spinach. I love spinach. I love like fresh, just nice,
yes,
crisp,
yes,
leafy green
yes.
spinach. But I swear to God, steamed spinach is repulsive. Unless it's like on a pizza or like, it's like with something else, But just like people that are just eating like a can of steamed spinach, I do not understand it. It's so bad.
We were lied to as kids.
Yeah.
Popeye is a liar.
Definitely.
Liar.
I think Popeye was co-opted by like the big spinach industry or something. But steamed spinach, steamed broccoli, steamed carrots. Why would you steam something that tastes so much better raw?
Well, the only problem with steaming something is you're not seasoning it. It's just like wet.
It's just
vegetable.
wet and soft and
Yeah, you gotta
soggy.
put some season on it. I mean, you gotta throw some good stuff on there. So otherwise, it's gonna taste like nothing.
Yeah.
It's so depressing. And now I'm depressed. Way to go, guys.
Yeah. Sorry.
This devolved really fast. Where were we going with this?
I don't know.
Where
I
were we?
don't know.
Oh, animals
Yeah.
raping, ducks
No,
getting
don't
ducks
say raping.
Okay, well,
Dolphins raping.
dolphins raping. Anyways, All right.
All right.
Let's get back on track. Where were we?
Yes. Okay. So
Reset.
well, we mentioned hunting, which of course you use firearms
Oh, yeah,
to
it's
do. I
hunting.
know
There
you're
we
an
go.
avid firearm owner and user, and all around Second Amendment encourager. Correct.
Yes, I am also a big encourager of people knowing not only what they're buying, but also how to use it.
Which is why I wanted to ask you about this bill that we have in Texas right now. I don't know if it's passed or if it's in the process of
No,
being
it passed.
It did
So
pass?
It's passed. It goes into effect September 1st.
Hell yeah.
So now, just so we're on the same page, this is the bill that would allow someone over the age of 21 to carry a firearm, concealed or non-concealed, without a concealed handgun license.
Correct.
So, a 21-year-old.
I think it does still have to be concealed. I
Okay.
don't think it's open carry.
So, you can now, in the state of Texas, as of September 1st, I don't know how much you know about this, but if you're over the age of 21, you can concealed carry. You can carry your firearm if it's concealed with no firearm training, no CHL required, anything like that. And I wanted to get your take on it because I'm a firearm owner. I love the Second Amendment. I think everyone should have the right to bear arms. I do think there are some places that I think, maybe the Second Amendment can go too far. But I wanted to get your opinion on what you think about this new bill that will allow people
This is only in Texas, right?
Only
yes,
in
this
Texas.
is just in Texas.
So, for the bill itself, it doesn't really do a whole lot. We already have the right, and have forever in the state of Texas, the right to carry a firearm in our vehicle.
That's what I thought too. Yeah.
Unlicensed, you can have it in the glove box.
Or in
Nobody
the trunk.
cares.
Like I carry my shotgun in the trunk sometimes.
Yeah, and that's
Yeah.
completely fine.
Yeah.
You don't have to be licensed or
Right.
trained or any of that. On top of that, the class was pointless. It was a waste of time. I took.
I've
the
never
class.
taken it. Yeah.
I'm currently.
It's pretty pointless.
It's. They don't teach you shooting techniques or handling. They literally just talk to you about the rules, and they go over it ad nauseum, over and over again about what you can and can't do. And then, given they do.
What you can and can't do in terms of how you can or cannot carry your firearm?
Yes. Well, that and where you can and can't. Like, there's certain signage on buildings, and the class that I
Like
took.
you can't take it in Chick-fil-A, but you can take it to Walmart. Things like.
If they have the right sign.
Sure.
And there are right signs, and then there are ones that they just printed off the internet that don't count, that you don't have to listen to.
So if a store just prints out a piece of paper that says no firearms allowed.
You don't have to listen to it. It has to be in a specific font with a specific phraseology.
And what if they notice that you're carrying and ask you to leave?
I mean, that's their right. It's private property,
So
right?
so they can ask you
They
to leave.
can still
Okay.
ask you to leave, but I mean, they can't. You're not breaking the law.
Sure.
Especially if you, well, as of September 1st, you can do it anyway. But if you are licensed to carry, then you're fine.
It's just like wearing a mask.
So what does this bill change? I believe it's HB. I think it's 1927.
27, yeah.
Okay.
What it does, I think, from my I'm not a professional by any means, but from my analysis of it, all it's doing is not making people pay a fee and
So I'm
waste
sure
their
these
time.
places that give CHL classes are probably pretty pissed. Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, they will be because they bought into this, and it's it's a way to generate revenue for the state because there are state fees associated with that class and licensing and all this other stuff. So while I'm happy that the bill did pass, I still think it's every single firearm owner's responsibility
Sure.
to go out and get trained, talk to somebody.
Right.
I mean, like my brother spent 8 years Special Forces, and he and I spent hours at the range going over different
Special
techniques.
Forces, really?
Oh yeah. 75th Second Ranger Regiment.
Wow.
He got a level above that too. There's still stuff he can't talk about.
Sure.
But he and I went back and forth over training techniques at a gun range that I'm a member of, and he taught me some better actual shooting techniques. They don't teach that in the class.
Yeah.
At least not the one I took. So
I was unaware. That's absurd.
Yeah.
That they're not actually in there teaching you
No.
the ins and outs of operating
No.
your firearm.
No, because it's Because you have to bring your own firearm, right?
Sure.
Or it's some places let you rent them.
Rent, yeah.
Or the range will let you
Well,
rent
most
them.
ranges let you rent, yeah.
But for the most part, there are too many wide variety of firearms as well as optics for pistols for the instructor to really know the ins and outs of that particular weapon. Should they? Yes, absolutely. Do I think there's an excuse for them not to? No, I don't.
Right.
But to be real about it is, a guy who does CHL teaching on the weekends, like the class that I took, he spends a couple of hours on his Saturday, makes a couple $100 teaching, 5 or 6 people. Is he going to know the differences between the different firearms that people could potentially bring in?
Right.
I mean, some people could spend a couple $100 on a high point POS, or they could they could spend a couple of grand on a Colt.
Sure.
Or
Some,
a 6.
range operator 1911.
Right,
yeah.
right. I mean, there's just so many different options. And let's be honest, the guy's, he's an enthusiast just like everybody else. He's making he's trying to make a couple extra bucks. I don't think they're going to need to know that, or I don't think they will know that.
Have you ever thought about teaching a course?
I've been told that I'm really good at teaching people how to shoot firearms. I've taught a couple of my wife's cousins. Like, they have cousins' kids, I should say. They have a couple of little girls who were always interested in how to shoot a 22. 22 is perfect for
Great place to start.
a 9 or 10-year-old, and having the patience to walk them through how you do it, and make sure you only load one round at a time.
Sure.
Until they get comfortable with it. I've thought about it, but who has the time?
Yeah. No, seriously. But I mean, it would still be cool.
Yeah.
It would definitely still be cool. Because I know you're a member of like some outdoor range. You just go and kind of just shoot to your heart's content. Pretty much.
I take people out there all the time.
Because going to the range right now, I tell you what, it's a shitty experience.
Oh,
man.
yeah.
First of all, ammo is already expensive, but
It's
the
ridiculous.
range prices for ammo right now is nuts. I went to the range a couple months ago with my 9mm. I think I bought one box of 9mm ammo, a few targets.
50 rounds?
Yeah, a box of 50 rounds of ammo, a few targets, and an hour of range time. I think I left out of there paying almost like $75.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For one box of 50 rounds of 9mm, a few targets, and an hour of range time. That is... You almost can't feasibly go to the range.
Yeah.
Because it's just, who can afford to actually go and work on your shooting at a rate that's actually semi-frequent without burning a hole in your fucking pocket? So I don't know when the fuck these ammo prices are going to go down. I kind of monitor it online, but I think we're in it for the long haul, man. We're going to be...
I don't know if you guys remember, if you were aware when Obama got elected, man, that Obama was the best firearms salesman in the United States.
Yeah, I remember going to the range when he was president. I remember ammo was like dirt cheap.
Well, yes and
Or
no.
at least...
After he was in office a couple of years, it came back down. But when he first got...
when he first got...
I was at a gun store down the road, and...
See, I wasn't shooting guns in 2008, or I was, but my dad was paying for the ammo back then. In 2008, I was not paying for my own ammo. But like, I'm talking about like in like 2015, 2016, you could go and get a box of ammo for like
it was a non-issue.
less than $20. You could go and get 50 rounds of 9mm. So, but when you say he was the #1 gun salesman, people just went out and loaded up when he became president.
I was at a...
Obama's going to take our guns. Let's go load up.
That's exactly what happened. I mean, people were walking. There was a gun store down the road here in Houston. And I literally, as soon as they opened the door, there was a line of people out the door. And I was like, okay, I'll play along. I'll just, I think I was like, I don't know, 10th in line, right? They open the door. I just kind of casually walk in because I know where I'm going. I know what I'm looking for.
Right.
I'm looking for something very specific. I literally watched people behind me sprint in, run up to the rack because they have them on a rack, grab something, and then go wait in line. I found what I was looking for and ended up waiting in line too to check out. But I overheard some of these same individuals going, all right, what did I get? And they're Googling it on their phone. They don't even know what they're buying.
They just grabbed a box and they're like, okay.
No, it wasn't even ammo. It was an actual firearm. It was an AR styled rifle.
They were just like, I need any gun.
Yeah. They were just grabbing. They didn't know what they were buying.
This happened.
That's what's scary.
The same thing happened when COVID started to get really bad, and people started saying like, "Oh, is martial law coming?" And people were just going to Academy and just buying every gun. People were buying 22s, and they were like, "Okay, I've got my defense weapon. I've got this 22 here," and it's just like. People were just like
and they've
panic
never
buying.
shot it a day in their life.
No.
They don't know the technique.
No, it's just sitting collecting dust, in their nightstand or whatever. But so, I mean, after he was president for a while, that's kind of when I started, going to the range on my own and things. And I felt like it was pretty affordable then.
It was. They all, like, everybody panicked. Like, they always, anything new, everybody panics and loses their mind.
Right.
But then it calmed back down. It came back to everything kind of stabilized.
Yeah.
I realized that no, he wasn't taking. They put some restrictions on and those kind of things, but taking the actual guns never actually happened.
Right. Yeah, right now it's ridiculous. So I don't know when it'll come back down. Do you think that we're going to see a change in firearm sales now that your average person can conceal carry without having to go through?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think this is going to inspire an influx of?
I think all those guns are still sold already.
Yeah.
I mean, what was it? I walked through an Academy 2 weeks ago. Their gun aisle's still empty.
And I've talked to them, and I'm like, when do you guys get shipments? And they're like, we get
Tuesdays
shipments
and Thursdays.
And like, there's a line on the shipment days, and people come in, and the stuff that they got shipped into the store is gone within an hour of them being open.
Yep.
Well, have you ever been to the gun show at the George R. Brown? They do.
Yeah.
I did it every year. Or
I haven't. I've been to gun shows, but not that one.
Okay, it's awesome. There's a giant gun show they put on at the George R. Brown. And they just rent out one of those giant rooms, and you can buy anything you could possibly imagine in there. And but you can bargain with people, which is really cool. So that's one of the best ways to buy a gun personally. Especially all those guys are super knowledgeable. They either own their own shop or have been in a business forever. And I had a really good experience when I went there. Got a few things, and I went with a friend who was knowledgeable
My wife got a gun
so.
belt that she's really proud of.
Really?
It's some cool stuff out there, but but you don't have to have any kind of license or anything like that. You can buy whatever you want there. Like, it's easy. Anyone can get a gun.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but
especially here.
That's the thing too. Is like all you're going to do is even if you do stiffen up regulations, people find a way.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, that's
whether it's buying on the black market or whatever. Yeah. 3D printing.
3D printing it.
Just look at countries who have banned guns, and they still have a massive gun problem.
Or ghost guns. Ghost guns are something that is getting really big. People just literally buying gun parts and then building their own non-serial numbered gun.
And that creates a lot of hazards and
Sure.
a lot of danger.
Oh, shit, you can build a 12 gauge with some PVC pipe, and it's very building a shotgun is like very easy. So I'm not going to be able to fly after this podcast gets out. I'm going to get banned. TSA is going to pull me aside.
PVC pipe and a nail, man. You're good to go.
Yeah, seriously. So it's very interesting to see, like, the fact that people will always find a way.
It's the same with drugs. The same with anything that the government makes illegal.
Exactly. I mean, the whole war on drugs thing is such a joke.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And it has been for 30 years.
It's one of the biggest wastes of money.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
The war on drugs is one of the stupidest fucking things. There's so many different. I forgot what country it is in Europe. I'm not saying this is what the United States should do. I'm just saying it's interesting. I think it was Sweden. They decriminalized all drugs and then treated people with addictions as like people having a medical crisis,
for sure.
And they just treated them. And so instead of like locking all these people up and flooding their prison systems with every single person who commits a nonviolent drug offense, they instead decriminalized everything and started treating it like a health crisis.
Yeah.
Changed their entire country.
I feel like Canada did that recently too.
I would not
when
be
it comes
surprised.
to heroin.
Would not be surprised. Yeah.
But you know what, Keegan? That's what I love about you. You're not like a group thinker.
That's a problem I have.
But it's a good problem to have. Because
Everyone
Keegan,
should have that problem,
every conversation I've had with Keegan is like, he has his own perspective of the situation.
Sure.
You know what I mean? It doesn't sound like you're just spewing or repeating some bullshit. But like, I think Keegan like deeply thinks about a lot of topics like this, and that's why I enjoy talking with you a lot, for sure. But it's nice. It's like refreshing talking with you because it's like I know I'm gonna get Keegan's perspective, not anybody else's. You know what I mean?
Well, and there's conversations. For you guys listening at home, we've worked together for a number of years at this point, and we've had conversations like this back there, and you guys have actually changed my mind on a couple of things. Just having, a little chat like this, I think the biggest problem we as a society really have is our failure to adapt.
Yeah.
We are resistant to adaptation, whether it's electric cars or green energy or legalizing marijuana for veteran usage. I
Sure.
mean, it's why are you resistant?
Yep.
Why? Like, actually think about that for a second.
A lot of people
and-
don't even realize why they're against something.
Yeah,
They just
no.
know, like, okay, well, this is what my party thinks, or this is what the government has told me to think, and so I that's how I feel. And if you
Yeah.
don't, then something must be,
Yeah.
wrong with you.
For sure.
So that's one reason we wanted to start this podcast, is to have conversations where we disagree with people and talk about topics where we have differing opinions. Because, Adam and I, we have a lot of different opinions on a lot of stuff, and so sometimes we talk about it here. One problem...
I.e. cows.
Yeah, I eat cows. I don't think I'd ever stop eating cows. But
No.
one thing that's different between me and Adam is, like, I don't know, our stance on that. But something that we were talking about is a lot of our friends who we have on this show have very similar opinions to us. And so it doesn't really give us the opportunity to disagree with people that often. And so we want to find a way to reach out to people and get people on the show that are from, either other sides of the, political spectrum or, so I'm just trying to think, what do you think would be, if you could talk to anyone who had a different opinion than you, what would be a topic you really wanted to sit down and try and change someone's mind on? Like, if you could try and change someone's mind about anything.
No,
whether-
well, like, so I'm the wrong person to ask about that. Like,
No,
seriously,
you're not, because you're very opinionated.
I am opinionated, but I really found, like, in the past few years that I enjoy, like, I like that people are different than me. I like that people have different views and perspectives than me. Like, I genuinely enjoy it.
So you don't really
And
possess the desire
I don't
to change
wanna
anyone's mind.
I don't want to change anyone's mind. I don't. Here's what I would want to change. If someone was closed-minded, I would like for them to at least
Okay. So
at least contemplate certain other ideas. You don't have to change your mind. All I'm saying is just think about it.
Right.
Meditate on it. Just let it be in your mind, and at least dabble in the ideas, different ideas other than what you see.
So
Other
rather
than that,
than change someone's mind, you'd rather inspire open-mindedness.
yeah, I'd rather just
Okay.
inspire you to just, at least, read up on that topic. If you're so against it, how about you just see or talk to the other side or whatever it is.
Sure.
In anything. That can be anything. So, I mean, personally, like, I'm not out to change anyone's mind. Like, anytime I talk with anybody who has a different perspective, I'm like, okay, that's really amazing. Tell me, why do you think that? Why do you think what you think? You know what I mean? I want to see that side first, and then I'll tell you what I think. But I'm not about to tell you to change your mind, or, hey, you should really try this or do that, or I don't know. It's just not me. It's just not who I am. But yeah, I mean, I love talking to anything or talking with anybody about anything. So
Yeah. And I think that that's a huge problem in our society right now, is just a lack of communication. It's like people are kind of stuck in their little box and they're like, oh, I believe this, this, and that. And they're so adverse to either A, changing their mind, but B, like, people are just adverse to even talk about it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So,
yeah.
How much along those same lines do you think that it also has to do with the fact that people are so busy now?
oh, it's true. Everyone is busy. Everyone's going like full speed nonstop.
And I think a prime example here is politics.
Mm-hmm.
People don't like to typically talk. Oh, I don't talk about politics.
Right.
Well, why not? Is it because you don't have an opinion? Because that sounds like a load of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it more likely because you don't have the time or energy that it takes to invest in knowing about what you're talking about,
Sure.
which could also kind of parlay into them following what they're just being told.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
sure,
that
for sure.
idiot Tucker Carlson on Fox News
Oh,
says
yeah,
a lot of
he's a-
horse shit.
I
He's-
hate watch Tucker Carlson a lot.
That guy is a dipshit liar, and anybody who follows him is like, you need to take a second, like, go home and just really think about your life and your decision-making
Yeah.
paradigm, because that guy, I've caught him last year, just because I have a lot of Republican friends. I think that's kind of apparent from my appearance. People think I'm a cop all the time, but I'm not, or I'm also not ex-military, but people would quote this guy. Oh, Tucker Carlson said this. It's like, whoa, time out. That's just a segment.
Right.
That's just a minuscule amount of what actually happened. But media spin on this, on anything,
Sure.
is tremendous, and not having that time, not
Yeah.
having that drive.
Well, it's intimidating, too.
Well, absolutely.
Because it's so, and I'll admit, so I fucking hate Tucker Carlson. I think he's a
Fucking
dipshit.
dipshit. And his feathered fucking hair pisses me
Yeah,
off.
it's and his listening face. He's like, whenever he's talking to
Mouth
someone,
breather.
and like someone will be on the other side of the screen talking, he'll be video chatting with someone. He's just looking at the camera like
Yeah.
the whole time. And it's so
Fuck that
frustrating.
guy.
So I just saw a headline the other day. Apparently, like a reporter asked him, Tucker, why do you hate America so much? Because he's always like complaining about all these things that are happening in America. I haven't watched the video yet, but I'm very excited after this podcast. But I mean, Tucker is ultra right wing.
Yeah.
We differ in almost every way.
He
But
totes the line, man.
yeah, there's some stuff I really agree with Tucker Carlson. Like there are some things that he's very pro the release of all this UFO information. He even has like an intro graphic for when he's going to do a UFO segment where like this flying saucer takes off. And so I mean, I know that that's kind of like a funny thing to say.
He didn't pay for it.
I know, but no, I can even find Tucker Carlson things where I agree with him. You know, and it's not just about UFOs. It's it's a lot of stuff he says about like things that are happening in the whole liberal world, like things that I disagree with on the liberal side of things that I agree with Tucker Carlson on. So it's like, yeah, even though I fucking can't stand this guy, I think he's a dipshit. I'm not writing him off as like everything out of Tucker Carlson's mouth is trash. Like,
I'm the other
listen
way.
to everything in context. Yeah, oh well,
Fuck him.
that's fine too. But yeah, I'm very big on
iron
context
stick.
and listening to everything. I mean, I actually watch Fox News a lot just to hear what they're talking about. I want to hear what they have to say about what Biden is up to, or like things that are coming about in the Senate. Like I want to know what the people on the other side of the line are talking about, just because I think it's you should be informed on
what the enemy is doing.
So like on the topic, you said how people say don't talk about politics or certain things or religion with your family or friends and stuff like. And you're right on the nail. I also think another part is like people's emotions are too attached to their beliefs, and
True.
And I think especially in conversations like that, we need to learn to detach ourselves for a moment from our emotions and our personal feelings and then just purely talk about the science or the just the facts and you can say your view without raising your voice or without starting to cry or whatever it is that people get into these emotional, and it becomes personal. It becomes about them. You're attacking my character. You're attacking who I am and my beliefs. That's okay.
Well, maybe you should be less of a dumbass.
Yeah. Well,
I mean,
I know. But it is a thing that people should think about next time they have this conversation or want to avoid it, because the fact that we're avoiding these conversations so much because you might hurt someone's feelings or whatever is really dangerous to your mind, to your social interactions, because it is a huge part of. I mean, look at the news stations and
it hinders personal growth and evolution.
100%. Thank you. Yeah, 100%.
But I mean, it can be intimidating to jump into politics, especially because it's like people are like, oh, well, what about this bill? And it's like these bills are like 1,000 pages long. No one really has time to look at everything that's being voted on.
Definitely not.
You didn't read the 12,000 page
which scares me
bill?
because I know these people that are voting on it are not reading it. I know they're not reading 12,000 or 1,200 pages. You know what I mean?
Well, they have vacations to get to.
Sure, and golf to play. And then you go into like a voting booth on election day, and it's like, okay, you have, the vice president person, maybe, you're voting for governor or mayor. But then there's a million other local government spots that are important and actually do affect your day-to-day life. No one has the time to learn about all of these candidates and what they stand for and who they are as people.
That's what should be on the news. Like on the news, it should be like, here's the breakdown of each candidate you should notice.
They stand for this and that.
That's not happening. Like
they used to do that back in the 80s and 90s.
Right.
They used to televise local, debates and, this congressman is going up against this, blah, blah, blah person.
But
for
now
whatever.
It's Kanye West divorces, whatever.
Titties. It's all about titties. Am I not right?
No, it's very, very true. It is all about titties. But no, I mean, the world of politics is kind of intimidating to jump into, you know?
Sure.
And
it's intentionally that way to dissuade the public from actually getting involved. They want you. One thing I'm really proud of the state of Texas for doing is doing away with straight party ticket voting.
Yeah,
that's the biggest line of bullshit that only perpetuates exactly what we're talking about.
Agreed, 100%.
Yeah, people walk in. Oh, yeah, I went and voted. It took 2 seconds. I just clicked the red button or the blue button, and I walked out.
Right.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then oftentimes it's the people that need to vote the most that have the most shit keeping them from being able to be informed. So it's like you have people in low income situations or minorities. People are too busy struggling with other things to go out and learn about their candidates. Like there's a TV show that I love written by Donald Glover called Atlanta, and he has a line in the show. He says something along the lines of like, poor people don't have time for investments because they're too busy trying not to be poor. And it's the same thing for like politics. It's like these people that are probably the people that need the most representation in government are, the people that are least able to be as informed as they should be. And it fucking sucks that it's not easier. Now it's easier, I guess, because, you have the internet and you have a lot of access to information now. Yeah. But still, it's very daunting.
Yeah.
Well, and then on top of that, you have the fact that you have these politicians who have done nothing but elevate themselves to a level where they are so disconnected from the people that they govern. We've talked about this.
Well,
ad nauseam,
because you have people that use politics. Politics should not be a career path.
Yeah.
You should not be able to be a politician by career. You know what I mean? Like you should, being a politician is a very important job, and it's important that we have these people. But it's just like these people that are in the Senate for 30 or 40 years, and they're literally just like towing party lines so they can continue to just keep their job. They don't give a fuck about their constituents or the well-being of the country. They care about their amazing government health care.
6 months prior to the next election.
Right. They give a fuck about their government health care and keeping their job and all of their benefits and things like that. And it's just like we have people that are using politics just as a job, which is one thing I like about the Texas, like the state-run legislature. They get paid next to nothing. Yeah. You cannot be a career other than like if you're the governor or a mayor. If you're in the Texas
I hope
Congress,
he gets voted out.
Oh yeah, Hot Wheels. Yeah, I hope he gets voted out too.
Oh shit.
I shouldn't say that, but yes, I should. He's an asshole. If you are someone in the Texas State Congress, you have to have another job. I think they get paid it's like $3,000 a year or $5,000. It's a very low amount of money. You definitely have to have other ventures or something. Yeah. So I think that's a model that we should adopt. I mean, these congressmen who are, there's a lot of people in the United States Congress that are millionaires, Yeah.
For sure.
People that have just been, now granted, I'm sure that some of that is to, put on, they've made smart investments and things like that. But you have people that have just collected that Congress salary year after. Well,
yeah, and then we're missing a huge part of their pay, which is lobbyists.
Sure.
All of those guys getting paid under the table.
Yeah, that's another thing.
According to the magical Google, I'm going to interrupt for a second. The state of Texas legislatures make $600 per month, or around $7,200 a year, plus a per diem of $221 for every day the legislature is in session.
Yeah. So you can't support yourself or a family on $600 a month.
Definitely not.
So that's how it should be.
It actually comes out to between $38,000 and $45,000 a year.
What, with all those per diems?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go.
Well, no, that's what a teacher makes.
Major in politics.
That's what a teacher makes. You know what I mean? Like that's what your average teacher makes. So like that's still reasonable. Very reasonable.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's less than probably your average. Cop or whatever. Cop, I think you can start off at like $50,000 a year as a cop.
Yeah, it depends on the ISD.
Okay, that you could live on that. You could if you lived modestly, whatever,
Sure.
and especially in a state like Texas where the cost of living is pretty low, you could survive on that. But what I'm saying is, your average person in Texas State Congress is not like, oh boy, I've got such a good job, I'm never gonna leave. I make so much money here. They're all about they're doing it either for the power or there's still corrupt people even though the money isn't good. But yeah, sure. But I'm just saying, I definitely think you should not be allowed to get rich off of being a politician.
No, definitely not.
Absolutely.
So, okay, you kind of chimed in. I got to ask about this. The governor race is on for next November for the state of Texas. Governor Abbott, for the most part, really screwed up bad in 2020. And he has, for the most part, if any of you guys are paying attention to anything he's been signing the last, 6 months, he's trying to make up for that and hoping that the public largely forgets about how he, economy's in the toilet, people are losing jobs, people aren't able to pay their bills, but he's going on a dove hunt, in September of last year, or, he's going on vacation, or whatever.
Sure.
Who do you think? There's a couple of names that are being tossed around. Matthew McConaughey, one of them.
I'm voting for him immediately.
Sign me up.
A guy who lives down the road by the name of Chad Prather in Katy. He's kind of a comedian, Texas country music singer, is apparently supposed to be in the race. I think there's one other guy. But when it comes to somebody like Matthew McConaughey, name recognition on arguably a global standpoint. And we just got done with a president who was basically a TV star. He was a game show host.
Sure.
And he conducted it as you would a game show. But do you think somebody like Matthew McConaughey could be good for the state of Texas?
Hell yeah, why not? Why not?
I guarantee you pot will be legal.
Yeah.
I would love for him to be.
I'd have to see his platform. I'd have to see where he stood on a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I definitely think, I should say, I definitely don't think his background as an actor should like discourage anyone. I think he should definitely be examined because one, I know Trump's big thing was like, oh, he drained the swamp and all these career politicians. And while I hated Trump and everyone, a lot of people that were pro-Trump loved the fact that he wasn't a career politician.
Yeah.
And I was like, please, I wish we had a politician as president right now. I do want to say I definitely don't think there's anything wrong with a non-politician having a high-ranking role. I would have to look at his platform, but a lot of people swore by the work that Arnold Schwarzenegger did when he was governor of California.
Yeah.
So I would have to look at what he stood for. I would have to look at his plans and policies. I would definitely not rule it out. And yeah, I might be about it.
Yeah, and he recently had a book that came out called Green Light or something like that. I think it was called Green Light.
I didn't read it. I didn't know about it.
He just recently, he was on all the podcasts. He went on Joe Rogan. He went on Rich Roll, some of my favorite podcasts, and he basically went on this contemplative journey. Went out and into some kind of into the, I don't know where he went, somewhere out in the woods in his own little cabin or something, and just started writing, and he's been writing and journaling his life since he was a kid, I think, since a very young age, and he went back and looked through all of his writings and his journalings and basically compiled a book together and put all the stuff he's learned throughout the years, and so you can tell he's a very thoughtful person, and you can tell he wants to do better, and he's also talked with Sadhguru, who I also love, is an Indian guy. He's awesome, but he just seems like he's a thoughtful person, and that's all I really care about or want. You know what I mean? It seems like he genuinely cares about himself and bettering himself and his family, and obviously, I don't know.
I mean, I want him to be educated on what the role would entail.
For sure.
I definitely do think it's beneficial when you're leading politicians are good people, but I also want him to be a good person that knows what the fuck's going on, so
for
I'd
sure.
have to look and see what he was all about. But dude, and how awesome would it be, every speech, man, I would be tuned the fuck in.
Yeah, why not? Dude, have you seen his speeches that he gives in front of either colleges or different things? They're incredible.
His commencement speeches that he's given at UT.
Yeah.
Didn't he give a commencement speech at U of H one time?
I'm sure.
I think.
He's been all over.
And then on top of that, the Texas Longhorns football team, he fires them up at halftime.
Yeah.
He's in the locker room giving them locker room
He's
speeches
got that
and shit.
faculty pass. He can go wherever he wants.
Well, he's an adjunct professor now, so
Yeah. Dude, I mean, and to be a speaker the way he is, I mean, come on, he's probably as good of a speaker as there is in any political anything. Yeah, it's awesome.
I mean, it can't get much worse than what we've got right now in terms of how I feel represented by my governor. So
yeah,
I think the biggest thing I look for now in politicians is their connection to the people.
It's
that
do
they
you actually
make
care
laws
about
for.
your constituents? Yeah. Do you actually care about your people?
Yeah.
And I just feel like he'd care about Texas. And I feel like he would care about the people in Texas.
Hell yeah. He just did that other thing, the huge charity event, right? He held that giant music. I forgot what it was called, but it was a big Texas music thing that he put together.
Yeah.
It was just a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What a guy.
So, and that was all to raise money for something. I forgot what it was, but
all right.
he did something to help
I
people.
should know this.
So if we're okay with McConaughey being governor, what do you think about The Rock running for president?
Yeah,
apparently
this
is possible.
Look, if there is a Tom Hanks, The Rock bill
ticket,
or ticket, I'm going that way.
Throw Kanye West on there.
He'll throw himself on there.
Man, he actually got, I mean, I know he got blown out of the water and wasn't even close, but he got more votes than I thought he was going to get. He got thousands. I mean, I guess I could have predicted that he'd get thousands of votes, but it's just kind of crazy when like he had a little teeny tiny sliver on those pie charts on election night, and I was like, "What is happening?"
Yeah, he wasn't even on the ballot. People had to write his name in.
In some, yeah, he was in some states, but in some states he was. It was all about like when he declared that he was running, and it had to fit certain states' guidelines. But yeah, man. I mean, there was a kid in Indiana that found a way to get D's nuts on the ballot for like. In Indiana, you could vote for D's nuts. Like you could actually check a box on the voting machine that said D's nuts.
Wow,
That's delightful.
Yeah, got some votes. Got like 9,000 votes for D's
Bodie
nuts.
McBoatface.
Yeah, right. Bodie McBoatface. Shit, things like that. President-y McPresident face. You know.
Gotta love it.
But I just think The Rock running for president, that would be maybe a bit too far. That'd be a bridge too far, I think.
Why? What do you know about The Rock?
He can't act.
But he's yet the biggest paid actor.
Yeah. Oh, that's another thing that's so frustrating. Keegan, what's your stance on these Fast and Furious movies? We'll end on a fun note.
I really kind of stopped watching after the third one. Like I don't.
Oh, so you stopped when they were still grounded in reality?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I think I've had them on, but I don't remember. I never saw Tokyo Drift. I
That's
never
the
saw
third
that
one.
one. Is it?
So you only saw 1 and 2 then?
Sure, why not?
Okay.
Well, no, I saw the one where he fights Jason Statham. Wait, or was that a different movie? See, they're all kind of blur together.
They're
I
all
don't
the
know.
same.
Jason Statham is in. I think he comes in 5 or 6.
God, I don't even know. I don't know.
either.
Just they're such. They're filler movies.
Sure.
You know,
They're date night movies.
No, because
Like
date night, I'm trying to get some, but
Well, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if you miss the movie.
that
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Same page.
Yeah.
No, you want to end on something funny? I learned this during the pandemic. You can't go in and try on clothes anymore, right?
Yeah.
I found this out the other day. We got this friend staying with us, and she had a photo shoot, and she went and bought a bunch of stuff. Some of it underwear, right? Mm-hmm. She returned a lot of it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
what they don't have at Victoria's Secret?
What?
Washing machines.
No way.
So
No
they just put
fucking
it,
way.
They
you
just put it
can
right
return
back on the
underwear.
shelf.
No way
have
you
to
can
assume
return
so.
underwear. No way. Worn.
She returned it. She got her money back.
But I guess it still had the tags on it, so they just go, "Oh yeah, we're just going to assume you didn't try these on."
I mean, well, but she took them back and said they don't fit.
No.
Yeah.
You can't be allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Yikes.
That's
Am I
terrifying.
crazy?
No, no.
Or should it just be everyone's responsibility? You should just like, if you buy underwear, you should wash it when you get home.
It would suck that's the case, but I guess
No,
so,
I'm
man.
a
Shit.
like really basic dude. I buy my underwear in the biggest value pack I can
Yeah,
find
mine's
of
in the
like
plastic
Hanes.
wrap.
I go to Walmart. I get the biggest pack of Hanes boxer briefs I can find. I'm not washing them before I wear them. But if I was like a lady at a mall buying like a pair, they're not even in a box or anything. They're just like anyone could have like picked it up and fucking balled it up into.
I mean that is like if you ever go into a Victoria's Secret,
Yeah,
they
they're
are
just-
just all sitting
the
out on
underwear
the
is
shelf.
just laying there.
Yeah. So
Bins
anyone
of
can grab
underwear.
them.
This shit could just fall on the floor. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
that's
It's
true.
not vacuum sealed.
That's
in
true.
any...
So you should probably be washing it anyway. Yeah.
But
Whether it's
still.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now that's something you guys. I mean, when you go with your wife, your girlfriend, if you go to Victoria's Secret, now you have to worry about pink eye.
Oh. Wow. That's crazy.
That's
I mean,
a legit concern. Like I'm terrified. I won't go.
I went to the
I
mall
won't
the
go
other
now.
day and I wondered, I was like, how does that work? Because they have fitting rooms in there.
Yeah.
No, you're supposed to do it over your clothes, but they can't use the fitting
Supposed
rooms
to do
anymore.
it over your clothes.
Yeah. But like you go home, you have to take. That's my wife and her friends, and they're all complaining that they have to make a second trip to return stuff that doesn't fit now because they can't try it on in the store.
Yeah.
I did not realize that included undergarments.
Yeah. I love my value pack underwear. Man. That's the way to go.
Mine comes with a little cardboard wrapper around them. They're $2.
Yep. Give me the cheapest fucking just Fruit of the Loom pack of 8. Sure. Sign me up. Whatever. I'm a no frills guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's something you guys didn't
Interesting.
realize.
Wow. Thanks, Keegan. Thanks for that.
What else? What else I got on this list here? I found out on the news this morning. Do you know what a wolf cut is?
Wolf cut?
Yeah. It's a new woman's hairstyle.
No.
It's a fancy mullet. Okay,
No.
that's yeah. Instead of it all being one length, I learned this. It was on Fox 26 News this morning. Instead of it all being one length, it's kind of layered, and they call it a wolf cut.
Why would anyone want that?
It looks terrible. It absolutely looks terrible.
Cut.
It is
sounds
not
cool.
flattering at all.
I mean, it sounds like it's something that,
Yeah.
oh, I got a wolf cut. But
I mean, I thought you were going to go somewhere else with that. But yeah. Okay.
No, where did you think I was
it
going?
was
I
going?
don't know, like a landing strip or something. Like I thought it was
Oh, I
something
like
like
where
that.
your head's at. All right, let's
Like
expand
a
on
cut
that.
landing strip
We
or
go
something. I don't
from
know. What are you
women's
talking
underwear
about?
to landing strips and
I don't know.
Ah.
Like, what are you?
Wow. All right, the wolf cut. I don't even want to know what that would look like.
That's what I'm saying. Like what?
as please.
It's like 2 dog ears. All right, what else? You got like a little list there of like, this is like Keegan's lightning round.
I mean, just all sorts of, we were talking about Greg Abbott and
Sure.
crowdsourcing the wall, which seems like a pointless effort to gain votes, but you just
Crowdsourcing the wall.
phrase that was heard in my house today. Oh, from those photos, she is going on a dick parade this weekend.
Oh, god damn.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Dick
yeah.
Parade.
Wow.
That'd be another great name for a band. Maybe like a female-led rock band, Dick Parade. I'd listen to. I mean, if there
Yeah.
can be a band
That
called
would be-
Pussy Riot, there can be a band called
Oh, yeah.
Dick Parade.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Have you heard that song "Dick in the Air"?
No.
I've heard Dick in the Box. With
hasn't?
Andy Samberg.
Who
What's
hasn't?
the name of that country artist that I showed you? He makes all those like ridiculous, over-the-top fucking like they're almost like joke songs, but they're not. He has a song that's called "If My Dick Is Up, Why Am I Down?" And it is like
I don't know.
I gotta find that guy. I'm not gonna search that on this computer.
So
I'll search
Rodney
it.
Carrington?
No. This is like a
Yeah, you don't type that in on a work computer.
yeah.
Come on.
John will email me and be like, "Oh, call me." No, I haven't.
It's country music?
Yeah, if my dick is up, why am I down?
So this is what it's come
Wheeler Walker Jr.
Oh, yeah, he got famous for something else here. Dick Down in Dallas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wheeler Walker Jr.
to. Wow.
Well, he's just writing bangers, isn't he?
He has an album called Redneck Shit. The most popular song on the album is called Eatin' Pussy and Kickin' Ass.
Oh, classy.
I love it. Perfect.
Matthew McConaughey's
get it.
statement, his political, like his tagline, Matthew McConaughey, eating pussy and kicking ass for Texas governor.
That would be awesome.
Okay, all right, so Texas politics, this is like the last thing we'll touch on because I know Adam has to go pretty soon. It's hot as fuck outside, and they're talking about this grid might fail us and leave us. They're talking about building this wall. We need to build a fucking better grid. What do you think's going to happen with ERCOT and the stress on the grid? And they're trying to tell us to leave your thermostat at 82 when you go to sleep.
I'm
think the
so
fuck not.
excited you brought this up.
Yeah.
You're trying to get an entire state that was based on rebellion. I mean, that's our history
Right.
as a state is just you.
Right.
You're trying to get us all to turn our thermostat up to 78 during the day, 83 at night. Are you insane?
Dude, that is like...
How disconnected from the people are you really?
Right.
Like, you want to start a fight? That's how you start
Yeah.
a fight. It's ridiculous. And yeah, there will, I mean, unless these rainstorms that
Right.
are scheduled to push through for the tropical storm actually impact the Texas Gulf Coast, that could solve a lot of the problem. But UT actually this morning released a story saying what would be a better approach to reducing the strain on the power grid is if cities and municipalities would do their part. You know, the city of Houston is lit up overnight.
Downtown is a fucking Christmas
Dallas
tree.
is-
All
yeah.
those buildings are empty. And it's just like...
Empty, and I guarantee you it's 72.
Yep. Nice and crisp.
I mean that my wife actually had a great idea. Why not here in the state of Texas, on new builds? Period. New houses, new commercial real
Buildings,
estate.
yeah.
Put up some sort of green energy, a solar panel system,
They'll
or
never
something.
let it happen. They'll never let it happen.
It just we go back to that circle of resistance to change and fear of the it's new.
Because you have solar on your house.
We do, and it's great. And you know what I don't have to worry about?
Electricity bills.
Yeah,
Your
any of
power
it.
going out.
Nope.
So
And you know how people got stiffed with like $400 3-day electrical bills back in February?
Yeah.
There was. We don't have to worry about that. Our rates are locked. They're done.
Yeah.
Like, we don't have to worry about it. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a beautiful thing. Go solar.
Go solar.
I mean, it makes 31% of our grid is wind and solar energy. It's green energy.
30%.
31%.
That is a really high percentage.
We have the high. Chuck Schumer can shut his mouth. He went running his yap yesterday on Fox News again about how, Texas is not taking green energy seriously. Shut up, Chuck. Shut up.
Yeah.
We have more green energy here in this state than anywhere else in the nation.
More than California.
More than California.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That is big. That is huge. I was
And
unaware.
we are growing. We are putting more wind farms. There's legislation out to put towers up out in the Gulf, which is going to be tricky because salt water's a pain in the ass. But it's growing. It's not just stuck at what it is. And I
Yeah,
get the
for sure.
argument about the big fans and how they're pushing duck hunting,
Right.
pushing the migrations different ways from where they traditionally have been, but. There's got to be some flexibility there.
Yeah.
I mean, solar panels don't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
I know the return on that's kind of crap, and we very much rely on China for those getting built. But
Well, have you seen the solar farms out in the middle of the desert that reflect the
Yeah.
beams
They're
up,
just in a
up
big
into the
ring. And
yeah,
Well, like they reflect the beams up, and sometimes they're so hot that they'll just fry birds out of the
Yeah.
air. They'll just cook them. They'll just cook them. And they'll just
It's
fly.
like a million
that's
magnifying
terrifying
glasses.
and
Just-
hilarious.
yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's
insane.
crazy. I'm sure that someone's job has to be just driving through the solar
Yeah,
farm, just grabbing the
picking
dead
up
bird
birds.
bodies.
Yeah,
But think about that. I mean,
What does
they
that job pay? I'm just
don't tempt me. But like seriously though, man, there is no way that they should be building new houses and not just installing solar.
yeah, I agree 100%.
Fucking
Or yeah, we could be building houses
or
way
even
better.
even just. It doesn't have to be much, but even one of those little, you can buy them for a couple of bucks on Amazon or whatever. There's got to be a way to get more energy into homes and into the grid without relying so much on, let's be honest, fossil fuels are going, there is a finite amount of fossil fuels, period,
Yep.
on the earth. There's a finite amount. No one can argue that.
Yep.
Nobody with half a brain can argue that. I mean, the flat earthers might, but those people are.
You
a
said
level
anyone
under
with a brain.
So at some point we have to start, as a culture, as a society, embracing this idea
Yeah.
that there's more to it. There's more that can be done.
Yep.
For sure.
And on that note,
Land
I
the
think we should-
plane.
Yep. I think that's a good time to
Thanks
call
for
it.
coming.
Thank you, Keegan. Dick Parade. That should be the name of the episode.
Yeah, Keegan, appreciate you coming on,
Yeah,
man. That was-
guys, I
thank you,
had
man.
That was
fun,
a
man.
blast.
This was
We can do
blast.
it again anytime you want.
Literally
Just let
anytime.
us
We
know.
all work here. All right, guys. So until next time, wash your underwear, learn to scuba dive, and go green energy. Stay safe out there in the cosmos, folks.
Peace.